Hey, welcome back. So we're going to get started here. I rolled very poorly, so we're only going to have one battle round. I don't see a way we're going to win in one battle round. So obviously we're going to try to just inflict as much damage as we can and not take as much damage. So that part's always the plan. It's really going to boil down to what battle plans they get, because there's some that they can get that could really be devastating to us. So let's see what the first one is. And the first one is stop a hit, so that's not helping us. And then the next one is their submarine is going to get a +4, +2. That is very, very bad. So they could actually sink one of our ships, depending on how well they roll. So, okay, airplane perspective. We are going to go after the island. If anything, we can take out their planes, and that's my goal. And then, of course, their bombers. I'm going to roll for them. I rolled a 2, which is the Japanese Ocean. And so then it moves up to the island. So their bombers are going after the island, just like we are. And then these guys, I don't need to roll for because they're going where there's either an enemy plane or their own planes, and it's all over the island. So we go to the dogfight phase, and they are going to dogfight with a 6-3. And there's a 5, so that's one hit. And we dogfight with 2 5-3s. And there's a 5. So we both hit. I guess that counts for something, but I have to take out their 0. And they're going to be taking out one of our bombers. This one has a lower bomb value, so I'm going to take out the P40. And technically, it's just a damage, not take out. So sorry for the bad terminology. Then we do the bomb runs. So they're rolling 2 4s. And there's a 4-3, so that's 2 hits. We'll use our leathernecks to stop one of them. Yeah, they're definitely doing damage on us. And when we look at hits, remember the airfield has a bracket of 1. So they could take out our plane, but instead I'm going to damage 1st Cavalry, which also had a bracket of 1. And then for us, we have our damaged plane rolls a 1. That was a 2. That was a wonderful roll. And then we have a 4. There's a 1 for 1 hit. And then we have 3 5s. 10, 10, and 6. Holy crap, that was awful. So we did 1 hit on them. But they have damage control, which would have been done in the dogfight phase. So let's retcon that. I will fix their 0 to full strength, and then this hit that we just did is going to go through. So their 0 would be at full strength, but now we hit them for real, and that's going to eliminate the battalion. Okay, so bomb run's done. We go to torpedoes, and this is the nasty part. We need to roll 10 for them. And oh my gosh, look at this. Why was that nasty? Well, they normally roll a 3, but they got a 4-2, so a 7-2 was their roll. And I'm just going to go ahead and put these in the cup because they're done with all their stuff. This guy's done, so I'm going to put him back on his sheet. We do get the attack back, so if we get a 2, and of course we missed, that's fine. I'm just happy that we were able to do what we did. And so then we do surface attack. So let's start with them. They roll 4. That's a miss. And then we roll 3 4s. And that's a miss. That's a miss. And that's a hit. So 1 hit got through. And I did take the thing that makes it into 2 hits, which is good. So we get to do 2 hits on them. Now remember, all of these targets count bracket-wise. So this is a bracket 2, bracket 4, but the airfield is a bracket 1, and we did 2 hits. So we're going to kill 2 of their planes, and I'm going to kill, it has to be this one first, and then we get to just take out eeny, meeny, miny, mo on those, so I'll just take that one. So 2 planes are going to go down, and I can remove those planes now because nothing's going to happen, because we did the 2 hits. And so their ship is done, and I'm going to put their ship away. Okay, so now we move on to the land phase. So they have 1 infantry attacking with a 4. And I rolled a 10 for him. We have an artillery, which is a guaranteed hit. And that's going to take out their last airplane, right? Because the airfield is the lower bracket value. So all their planes are gone, which is good. Holy cow, I did buy this, didn't I? Yes, I did. We got another round. Holy cow. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was smoking, so let's put everything back. There we go, the ships are back. We got another round. Okay, and so then we get to do some damage now. We have a 2, okay? Then we have 2 3s. These are like the infantry groups. There's 1 hit. And then we have 2 5s for the Marines. 2 3 hits, okay? But remember, the Marines can only hit what's on land. So what we did is we effectively wiped out their infantry there. He'll just be back next round. But we couldn't apply actually the extra hit because we completely wiped out the island. Then what happens is this guy's landing on the beach and we're moving on because I'm going to adjust the battle duration by 1. I totally forgot I had that. And so, yeah, we get another round. Very interesting. That submarine, we survived. If I end up drawing that one again, I'll just draw a different one. So they got adjust the battle duration by 1, and all bombers roll 10. So now I'm going to throw those into the cup because we truly are at the end. They're only going to adjust by 1 if they have more than us, and they don't. They have 3. Highly doubt they're going to have more than us. So as far as the bombing phase goes, we're actually going to bomb the sea. I know my bombers have excellent values against land, but I have 2 Marines that have excellent values against land. There's a part of me that's like, you know what, let's take out that sea even if the odds are bad. So if that's the case, they have to roll anti-air, which is a 2. I rolled a 6. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 1s. Yeah, it's very bad. 4 1s. And none of them hit. And then we have 1, 2. Also a miss. So our bombers didn't do anything, but it was worth a shot. Now they get to attack with a 3 for their submarine, and they do hit, which that stinks. And then we get a 2 for our depth charge, which is a miss. So who gets hit? Well, it's not going to be the battleship. It'll be one of our cruisers, so I'll go ahead and take the hit there. So then we roll a 2. Well, technically, yeah, I rolled a 5, by the way. And then we roll 2 4s for our Navy ships. There's a hit, and there's a hit. So we did do 2 hits. And their Navy rolls a 4, which is a miss. So that part was helpful. Okay, we did 2 hits, and unfortunately, we had to hit the battalion. And that means our Marines have nothing to hit. So I was really going after their ships. And that's how the battle's going to end. We did take the island, by the way, because their ships can't hold it. And we did clear everything out. So that part is effective. We have 2 ships I'm returning back. And then, of course, 1 more damage we have to pay for. So I'll have to worry about that. And actually 3 more damage, right? Because we have a damaged plane and a damaged infantry. So I'm going to put the damaged infantry on top so I don't forget it. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at 5 points in repairs from this. I mean, that's a lot of points, folks. I mean, that's like a whole scouting order, but it's part of the game. So anyways, we did take the island. So the objective does flip to us. And that means that this guy won't be staying. He won't have an auto hold order. So that's interesting. I like it so far. I think the game's playing well so far. So now let's do the big battle that I am now quite nervous about, actually. I think we're going to not necessarily win or do well. And so first things first is we're going to have 3 carriers which are going to be formidable. And then the 3 destroyers are going to be nice shield for them. We're going to have 2 infantry that we're trying to land at the beach. We have 1 infantry in a foxhole. They have a crap ton of infantry they're trying to land. And we have 2 and only 2 cruisers. That's it. We have held the island, so they no longer get this bull crap there. So it's finally a more fair battle, but they have 3 fleets now. Let's start with Carrier Fleet 2. They're going to have a full carrier, the Hio, the Junyo, and then the escort Chuyo. And those are all going to go into the ocean for them. Okay, and then they have a battleship, which we're going to set aside because we don't know where he's going to go yet. They have Surface Fleet 1 and Carrier Fleet 5. For Surface Fleet 1, they get a cruiser and a sub. And then Carrier 5 is quite damaged. They get a full-blown carrier, the Zuikaku, and a cruiser. So, all right, well, their submarine is going after our carrier, so it's going to go here. The best anti-air is going to defend the carriers, so the battleship's going to go up. And it doesn't matter which one, so I'm just going to put this one here and this one up. So they're going to have 2 of them on anti-air carrier duty and 1 of them on island duty. Okay, so we have 3 full carriers on their side plus an escort, and we have 3 full carriers on our side. This is a pretty dead even battle, with the exception of they have a lot more land forces. Okay, so with that said, let's see how many turns this is going to be. And I sort of want them to roll big here. So 8 is big. We're going to get 3 turns. I am going to spend 2 battle plans or 2 supply points. So I get to have 9 battle plan points. And one of them is going to be damage control, so I could stop a hit on one of my carriers. So that's 4 of my 9. Another one is the diving attacks. That's 7 of my 9. It goes quick, doesn't it? And then I only have 2 more points left. So I think one of them will be ranging shots. And the next one is going to be an interesting choice. I can get an extra anti-air. I can make my dogfights inflict an extra hit. I could do First Light is a pre-attack against their carriers. Actually, that might not be a bad one. And then I would take the ranging shots away. So 4, 7, that would be my 9 points right there. The only thing that was sitting in my mind was re-roll a depth charge. Yeah, that's sort of nice, but my depth charge rolls are only a 3. The bigger one would have been the dogfight hit, right? So I am going to have 3 Hellcats here. In fact, I'm going to have more than 3 Hellcats. I'm going to have 4 Hellcats. And so, you know, if they do a hit, they're going to be able to destroy planes from the enemy. And then, of course, this one would be nice because that inflicts an extra hit if my anti-air hits. So as it stands, I got 3 points free and I bought 6 more. Yeah, and that's the 9. Boy, those go by quick. But I think this gives me a good edge because if I can stop 1 hit on my carriers, that will help. The First Light, even if it doesn't go in, it'll at least cancel theirs if they get it. And that's the reason why I took it. And if we ever do get a First Light in, that's going to be awesome because we could possibly sink a carrier before their planes even take off. So let's sort this out. Okay. So the Saratoga is a 5-cost carrier, and he's going to come with 2 dive bombers, a Hellcat, and a torpedo. And they're going to look like so. Then we have the Yorktown, which is going to look the same. The Hellcat and 2 SPDs. And I'm going to move these cruisers off to the side. And then we got the new Essex class carrier, which is called the Essex. And he is going to be 2 more dive bombers, a torpedo, and the difference between him is he comes with 2 Hellcats. And I'm just checking to make sure. Yep. So he comes with 2 Hellcats, so he's ready to go. All right, and then as far as their lineup, shouldn't be a surprise. They get 1 of each. So they're going to get, that's a torpedo, dive bomber. The escort is going to get a dive bomber, a 0. The escort carrier gets just a dive bomber, and that's it. But they have 3 full. So there's the second one. Sorry, I found a 1942 plane in their carrier plane pole, so I'm just putting it away. Okay, so I got for their 3rd carrier, and we can move the transports to the side as well. So their 3rd full strength carrier is going to look like that. And then the escort carrier is going to be just 1 more dive bomber. And just so I don't go in for the OCD people and you, I'm sure I'm triggering you in many other ways, but we'll at least have them lined up. So that's the situation. Plane-wise, we probably have more than them if 3, 6, 9, 10 versus 4, 8, 12, 13. So we have the advantage, at least on paper. 1943 was obviously a different year than 42. Their torpedo bombers have the advantage over us big time. Their zeros are, this is not a 0, so let me get that out of there. Their zeros are still better than ours. So I think it's a pretty even battle, personally. These are going to help us, and let's see what happens. So from a battle plan perspective, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ships, then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 from the transport. So 14 total units. You don't count the planes. That's 3 battle plans for them, and that's where they get the edge over us. Because those battle plans, like the one that gives them anti-air boosts and stuff like that, they're just brutal. All right, here's the first one. That's the most brutal one for them to draw. Second one. And then the third one. All right, so out of those, this one is awful. This one might help us. This one definitely helps us. So I'll put that one aside, and then these 2 will line up. So we have to, let's do first light roll. If I get a 7 or higher, I get to attack their carriers with one of my groups. I rolled a 6. So I do get to save it for another turn, but for now, that doesn't happen. So we got to do our aircraft. Where is our aircraft going? Well, these guys are a little at risk here. But to be quite honest with you, they're the least of my concern. I'm going all in against their... so all my bombers are going against their carriers. Plain and simple. That is top priority. And then as far as the fighters go, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. The problem is that they're going to do different roles for their different bombing groups, so they may go after separate targets. Like they may go after the land, they may go after, you know, these ships here, and they might go after our carriers. But because they have such huge bomb rolls, everything is protecting my carriers, because I can't have them hitting my carriers at all. So I'm going to put all 4 planes on carrier protection duty. I was tempted to maybe put 1 to protect my cruisers, but my cruisers, as much as I don't want to lose them, they're less valuable than the carriers are at this point. So I do get to stop 1 hit, which is helpful, but they're going to be sending a lot of planes. I'm still just debating, do I want to send all 4 fighters? Because if I send my fighters somewhere else, you know, their zeros might actually go after our bombers. So their zeros aren't necessarily going to go just to one place. You know what? I'm going to send 1 fighter to here to protect. But our fighters are going to be on CAG duty. We're sending our bombers naked. So if they do hits, they're going to be hitting our bombers, not our fighters. Like if we sent a fighter with our bombers, we could absorb some hits that way, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm concerned about is this right here. And that's going to be scary for us. So, all right, let's figure out where they're going to go. So I'm going to start at the bottom and roll 4 times, basically. So first carrier, where's he sending his bombers? That's a 3, so he's going to the island, which is not very good for the torpedo bombers. And I'm not worried about losing that infantry one bit. So second carrier is an 8. He's going after us. So these guys are coming down to take us on. Third carrier is a 5. He's going after the island. And then the fourth carrier is a 9. He's going after us. And then the first 0, actually I can just roll 3 dice. I rolled a 4, 4, and 4. So the zeros are all going to the island, which doesn't help at all. But it's not like they knew where our stuff was, right? So they're protecting the bombers that are hitting the island. And this is sort of working out and pretty well for us because, see, this thing gives them a huge dogfight roll. So if it was their fighters versus our fighters, we're going to take a lot of hits. And our fighters might survive because of this. The bomb rolls are bad, but we might be able to hit their bombers enough that, I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is we're going to lose our unit on that land. But everything else should be good. Okay, so first thing we do is dogfight. So there is going to be a dogfight here. We have 3 that have a 6-3 value, and it's going to be up against those 3 bombers. So theoretically, we could take them out if we roll well enough here. There's a 3 and a 3, so that's 4 hits. So we just took out 2 of them, and I'm going to take out their dive bomber, or sorry, torpedo, I mean, and a dive bomber. So 2 of them are down. That's excellent news. Okay, so then we then move, that's it. They don't get any dogfight on their side because they went over the island. So then we move to the anti-air. So we have a 3 for our destroyer, and then our best carrier is a 6-3, okay? Since there's only 1 plane left, we're only going to roll 2 dice. 1 for the escorts and 1 for the carrier. So 3 on the blue and purple here, and then a 6-3 for this green one. And I rolled a 3, but I did not roll a hit with the other one. So I at least got a hit. and was able to reduce him to 2. But he did get through, and he's going to get the bomb on us. So now it's their turn. Now we have more bombers than they have, so we're just going to roll all their anti-air. So what they have first is a 3 and a 2. So let's do the 2 first. That's a miss. Then the 3, also a miss. And then they have a 2-1, a miss. And then they have 3 4-2s. These could be deadly. So let's see. Oh, and they rolled 2 2s. So 2 of our planes got shot down. So looking at our list, we're going to lose 2 torpedo bombers. So we took some losses too. What I love about this game is this part feels very thematic. Like whoever designed this did an excellent job. All right, so now it's time to actually do the bombing hits. So well, let's start with the one I'm most anxious about. This guy would only roll a 2, except it got amplified by 3 2. So now it's a 5/2 hit for them. So let's see what happens. 5-2. I need to roll a 6 or higher, baby. And that's a 3. So at least it's not 2 hits. It's only 1. It would be against a carrier, but I took this just for that purpose. So we survived. Our carrier had good damage control. Now their submarine could ruin our day, but we at least absorbed that 1 hit that got through. So now they're rolling for the land, 2 2s, which become 5 2s. And that's 2 hits. I don't need to roll anymore. They destroyed our infantry. So it stinks. I got to replace him now, but he took one for the team. All right, and then now for our glorious moment. We have 1 torpedo bomber. It's making it through, just like Midway. The torpedo bombers arrive first. So we're going to roll a 4. That's a 6. And just like Midway, they all missed. And then we're going to roll 3, 6 5s. Let's go, baby. Come on. Get some hits. All right. This one is a miss. That's a miss, and that's a miss. And I see 1, 2, 3 hits. So 3, that's 50%. I rolled exactly according to the odds, right? So I just got 3 hits on them, which is awesome. And then this is going to make it a 4th hit. So I'm sinking 2 of I'm scratching 2 flat tops right now. And I'm going to pick the Zuikaku and the Junyo. So those are both going down. And that's a wonderful feeling to take 2 of them out like that. All right, so let's keep going. Now it's torpedoes. So I need to not roll a 3 or less. That would ruin our day here. That's a 6, baby. So we're happy about that. And now I want to roll a 3 or less because I want to hit him. That's a 9. We didn't hit. So, so nothing happening there. And then we go to the infantry phase. Oh no, we're going to the surface attack now. So they roll a 4 for their cruiser. That's a 7. And then we roll 2 4s for our cruisers. And we hit. We actually hit. So our cruisers hit, and this cruiser here, takes the damage because all that's left is the transport. So we damage their cruiser, but we won't get to hit it again. And now we're moving down to 2 battle turns left. So, but before we do that, these infantry land on the beach. None of them are Marine. Nope. Their infantry lands on the beach. A whole crap ton of them. Okay, and then planes land. All of our planes get to land. They have 1 full carrier, so they get to take a 0, a dive bomber, and a torpedo. And then they have an escort that can only take a dive bomber. And then everything else gets destroyed. 1, 2, 3. We just knocked out 4 more of their planes. So that was glorious. And yes, it would have been nice to extend this by another battle turn, but I needed that damage control. All right, so they have this adjust duration by 1. Now, what's interesting is that this one, you do count the planes. So that's hurting us. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They're at 16, 17. We have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have more than them, so they're actually reducing it by another turn the other direction. They're trying to survive. Okay, so let's draw. That hurt us. That hurt us. All right, so they get to draw 3 more battle plans. Here's the first one. They're drawing all 10. So that means we're going to be able to destroy all their planes. Next one, their carriers are safe. We're not going to be able to attack them in the ocean. And then their submarine gets a big advantage. So we're not going to be able to hit those carriers. So that means we're going against the land targets. That's the only option we really have. So, and they're going all in for us. So what we're doing here then is we're going to move our fighters to here so we can dogfight with 4 fighters. They're going after us with their 3 bombers like this. And then we just have to roll for their 0. What's the 0 going to do? And their submarine's going to be a very big problem for us. So I rolled a 5. Their 0 is going to go after our bombers. So he's going over the island. So that's an issue. Oh, this first light thing would be a pre-attack for 1 carrier group. I don't know if this no contact overrides the first light. I'm assuming it does, which means I wasted my points for this nonsense. Let's find out. Because it says proceed with the normal turn after the first light action. So if this is before the normal turn, that would mean it would be before they drew their battle plans. The problem is they can cancel us. It's before Japan moves its aircraft. Yeah, that means they have their battle plans. And then the no contact one just says you may not send aircraft to the ocean this battle turn. So first light, all that means is that we can conduct our attacks anywhere. So it doesn't have to be against their carriers. So sure, let's roll. I got first light. So I can attack anywhere before their 0s or anything can do anything. So one of my sets of bombers, for example, doesn't need to, like their 0s couldn't hurt me. So we could try to sink their cruiser, because that would be an easy target. And you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and go after their cruiser, and I'll just do it with these 2 guys here. 5, 3, 5, 3. So I'm going to roll 2 5s and hope that the odds are going to work in my favor. And there we go, 2 hits. I didn't want to send the torpedo bomber because I knew it might have been a waste. So yeah, we sink a cruiser out of the deal. So I'll go ahead and do that. And now these 2 are out of the battle, and the only ones that are at the island are these ones up at the top. Then these guys are coming at me, so we do dogfight. So they have a 7-4, and I rolled a 5. So they do hit us once. And I think, like, they all roll a 3 for land attacks. I'm just checking. Yeah, so we can go ahead and hit the torpedo bomber. And now we're going to roll 4 3s and a 2. And then we have 4 6 3s. We do need to take out their... So here's a 6 for 1 hit. These are 2 misses. And this is a 1 for 2 hits. So we did 3 total hits on them. So we can take out that one for 2 and this one for 3. And then now we do anti-air. They don't have any, but we do. And we're going to roll 2 3s. Both of them are misses. And we have 2 6 3s. Come on, we need to hit. And I rolled a 5 and a 7, so only one hit, and that destroyed their other, so one got through. So let's roll for the one that got through. That's a 6. That was a miss. Yes, we got it. I stole that from One Stop Co-op Shop. One Stop Co-op Shop. Yes. Except he scripts his videos. I don't. Okay, so next we do our bomb runs. So now we get to hit them, and I didn't bother sorting this out yet, but they have a crap ton of battalions that are going to absorb hits before we hit anything substantial. So I'm just moving the substantial stuff to the side and piling. Yeah, so they got 4 substantial groups and then 3 battalions. So whatever we can hit is just less stuff we have to hit later, because we're not going to finish this battle with everybody eliminated. So 4 3s, and those are 4 misses. So yay, team. All right, next we do the torpedo run. Normally they roll 3, but now it's a 7-2. So this could be deadly. And I rolled a 5, so he does hit us. So the Yorktown will take the hit, and that's going to be another 2 points to repair. So that's going to be bad, but he will survive the day. And then we roll a 3, and we miss. And then we do naval guns. So we're rolling 2 4s, and those are 2 hits. So that's good. We took out a battalion, and nothing else happens because nobody's in foxholes or anything, and then the battle ends. So, so let's figure this out. So their submarine, what do we have here? We have Carrier Fleet 2, which has a submarine. And then it was Surface Fleet 1 and Carrier Fleet 5. Surface Fleet 1 also has a submarine. I wonder which one was which. What's the submarine number? Subgroup 1. Oh, it would be Carrier Fleet 2's submarine. Then we have a battleship and a cruiser. The battleship goes with Carrier Fleet 2, and this cruiser, Agano no Shiro, I'm going to assume, well, and here's the thing, Carrier Fleet 5 has battleships as well. But that one is named, it definitely goes there, but this cruiser is either going to go here or on the surface fleet. And we're going to put this on the surface fleet. So this surface fleet has 1 ship. That's all that survived. And then we have a escort carrier and a full carrier. And Carrier Fleet 2 only has a light carrier spot. And then down here is a full carrier for Carrier Fleet 5. And then the escort carrier is there. So Carrier Fleet 5 is down to 1 ship. These guys are at full strength, although that's not a full-size carrier like it originally was supposed to be. And then Surface Fleet 1. I think considering the fact that we went up against 3 fleets, now granted these 2 here were damaged, we managed well. I mean, we definitely took some damage, but we did our job. So these ships are going back to dock. My decision to not have the battleship and the submarines and all that stuff, I don't think was all that bad. Those submarines, if I would have had them, they're not allowed to attack in the Japanese Ocean when we draw that battle plan. That counts against them too. So they basically do nothing that whole turn. So that sort of blows. The fact that they brought so many infantry means that the Gilbert Islands are no longer under our control. So I am flipping the marker. And that means that Samoa now is in their pathway for supply. Because since Japan has Gilbert Islands objective flipped to their side, that's an interesting supply question. But I think since I already modified the DVG rules as it is, I'll count this as they're supplied, and so now they can go after Samoa, even though they haven't fully taken the island. And so yeah, there's 2 carrier fleets and a surface fleet that remain, and carrier fleet 2, here's another thing that I didn't mention in my rules, but these 2 are heavily damaged, so the one that's the most, the highest strength will be the one that holds, because the damaged ones need time to reinforce, and there's no point in them holding if somebody else is stronger. So I guess you could argue that in other ways too. You could say, well, they need their strength to help out elsewhere, but I don't think they do. I think they need their strength to hold the objectives and prevent us from taking them. So if it wasn't an objective, then of course I would think the other way around. But we need to hold our objectives, just like they need to hold theirs. So we basically exchanged objectives this turn. And I think that for the new rules and as far as they go, they went well. So I know there's only about 5 or 6 of you that are truly watching this playthrough in real time. But please let me know your thoughts, how you think this went. I think this went very well. I actually really love the new rules. We just got to tweak it to make sure, you know, there's this rule about, you know, when you have a choice of more than one, you're going to pick the strongest one to hold. And then what was the other thing we had? Oh, we kept with the 2 hit points for the battalions. And I thought there was another, oh, the other game time decision was, even though they haven't fully taken it, this is considered in supply, so now Samoa would be a viable target next turn. I think that has to be that way. You can't hamper the Japanese too much. Oh, and remember I told you I dropped planes? Look at this. This plane should have been in that last battle on New Guinea. So we did have one that should have been there and helping out, but that's all right. We didn't need them. We didn't need you. Okay, so we go to the reinforcement phase. Almost not even worth rolling, but I rolled a 10. So they're getting the maximum reinforcement. So all their ships come out, all their infantry come out, and then 4 of their planes. 3 because of the rule, and then 1 because of the sheet, the expansion that we have. So all those planes we destroyed, some of them are already back. So now what came out? The Yamato just came out, and the Destroyer Group 4. So I'm on a charger here, so I can't like move my camera too far over, but let me set it down and maybe zoom it in a little bit. These have to go where there's the least amount of ships. So for example, Carrier Fleet 5 has just 1 ship, and there is a spot for a battleship. So you're not supposed to like put a carrier somewhere where there is no carrier slot, but there is a slot for a battleship here. There's also a slot for a battleship on the battleship fleet. But the battleship fleet, which is way over there, there's two of the 4 ships are actually on the sheet. So this one needs the battleship. Now, I could also do it this way because it needs a destroyer group as well. Like you could put a destroyer group there. That's an interesting dilemma, and it doesn't give you advice on that. I think it's based on the order you pull these off. And this was the order I pulled them off, so I think that's how we're going to do it. Surface Fleet needs a destroyer as well. So Battleship Yamato is going to actually go into Carrier Fleet 5. So now they have 2 ships. And then we have a destroyer group, and it's going to have to go in Surface Fleet 1, which also only has 1 ship, but they had no spot for a battleship at all. So this will actually be a perfect play, because now we just took 2 weakened areas and reinforced them to 2. But here's the thing. Japan has none left for the rest of the year, although we only have 1 more turn left in the year, so they did go through them. And look at that big pile of dead ships. That is a beautiful, beautiful pile. Now, when we go to 1944, because of the, 44, because of the way the reinforcement rules go, if any of those were still alive in 44 and there's a chip for it, it'll come back into the manufacturing pool, so that'll be a nice thick thing for them again. So at least for a few rounds, we won't see them. and some of them might come back, but if some of those really did sink in 42 and never, or 43 and never existed in 44, we'll never see them again. I actually don't know the answer of how many of those are, but if you can get really sneaky and make it like a little cheat sheet so that way you know which carriers you want to sink whenever you have 4 to choose from. That's taking this game to a whole different level. I certainly, I can't disagree with, you know, the logic of it. It's just, I don't know if that's really what you want to do. But it's definitely smart to do. I just don't know if it's fun. Okay, so we're U.S. return to port. I sort of was doing that as we go. Then we U.S. supply check. Our supply is fine. Defeat check. I'm just looking over. We need to control 5 objectives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at 7, so we're doing good there. We're moving to the final turn, November, December. And I'm looking at our little sheet here. Japanese get one on Iwo Jima and Okinawa. And I think Mariana is spelled wrong. That was a typo issue. Yep, definitely spelled wrong. So, anyways, battalion on Iwo Jima and Okinawa. We can do that. All right, so how many do I get? I get 27 points. However, this is 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. So I'm going to get 20 points. I'm grateful that I'm getting a lot of points, but yeah, it blows to get 20 points instead of 27. But we had a productive round. We sunk some stuff. And we didn't lose anything. So far, by the way, we lost the North Carolina, which thematically I don't think we should have lost, and then we've lost 2 subs. Okay, so the Bunker Hill is now coming off the manufacturing line. These are all going down, and 1 plane. So we are literally going to have 1 carrier, and that's it for this turn. And then we're going to have 1 plane for this turn, which is a pretty darn good one. So the Mag 23 is a good one. And we have 20 points. So since a carrier came off the line, I could, because I still have 1 more carrier I can put on the line, because here we're at 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have exactly 6 points I can put on to get to 20, but actually our capacity is 35. I forgot about that. So I can put the Yorktown on to get us back to 20. That would be 6 of my points. And I can do even 15 more points. So 15 and 6 is 21. I only have 20 total points. And do I want to do scouting? Do I want to do battle plans? Those are all excellent questions, and I don't have answers to all that. If I set aside 7 points, that doesn't leave me a lot to do here. I have infantry to replace. I have more planes than you can count that I need to put onto the sheet. I mean, I just feel like I'm not making a lot of progress in getting my manufacturing going. And look at all these ships that I can still build. And I have all these light and escort carriers I can build as well, which I haven't even touched because I've been trying to get the big ones out. Well, I at least got the carrier on, so that's 6. So I'm at 14 points. Let me put it in view. So I could try to not scout, which is a weird thing to do. Because this is a point scoring. We actually score points at the end of this round. But that'll save me 4 points. They have a lot of really damaged fleets. They do have some super powerful ones. I don't know what to do. So their carrier fleet 1 that's sitting in Japan is full strength plus extra ships. They are bad news. Their battleship fleet is also bad news. I mean, I could scout both of them just because I don't want to face them, right? Actually, I would face them if I scouted them. There's a good chance I would. The thing is, I just want to get manufacturing going. I know I have infantry in various places. I know I have battles in various places, and I need help, with those battles. I just don't know. I mean, I only have one carrier. That's all I have. So it's not like I'm going to be able to do a real big offensive push this turn. Gilbert Islands and Borneo are both still under attack. I can move 4 planes to the Gilbert Islands to try to help out there. I can move 4 planes to Borneo to help out there. But that's where the planes come in. It's like, boy, it's nice to have some planes. My capacity is 6, so let's just get another 3 plane built. Like this Meg 4-4 is as good as any. And he's going to take 3 turns to build, so let's get him out there for 3. Let's get the infantry out there for 1. That's 4, so these 4 points are gone. So now I have 10 points. I mean, I probably want to save some to help me with battle plans. But I probably want to get... So these light and escort carriers... I mean, let me just show you. I have 2 escort carriers. They cost 3 each. That's not too bad. Now, what does an escort carrier carry? That's a Wildcat and a dive bomber. So a fighter and a dive bomber. That's pretty good, right? To be able to get a fighter and a dive bomber for 3 points. Those could be nice supplementary ships to help out with some like Borneo or whatever. Here, look at this. 1, 2, 3. I have 5 light carriers. And a light carrier is just like Japan. It's 1 of each. So you get a torpedo bomber, a dive bomber, and a Hellcat for each one of these. So they're almost as good as a regular carrier. And their anti-air is 4 too. So it's just really good anti-air. I mean, compared to like a cruiser, if I spend 3 points for a cruiser, I mean, don't you think that maybe 3 points for this is more value? My answer is mostly yes. And then, of course, I have a destroyer I can build. These cost 4. Ugh, I can do up to 15 extra points here, so I don't have to worry about that. Here's the other crazy thing. Whatever I build now, if I get it on the board, the 44 chip is going to replace them. And so if it costs more to build it than in 44, I don't have to pay the extra. So really, it's the planes I needed to get out there. Because the planes, all of them went up in price. I don't know if that's the case for 44, but from 42 to 43, the planes were the magic. What I could do is just save these 10 points. Use them to get me through whatever battle. And then I have 10 extra points to put on the manufacturing lines when I get the new 44 ships. Because the new 44 ships might be even more carriers, right? I'd rather have a full-size carrier than these little escorts and lights. We did lose we got all of our battleships on the board. This is a really tough decision. I apologize, I'm taking so long. I definitely don't want to build battalions. I can't build any more planes even if I wanted to. I don't have the shipyard or the airbase assembly lines upgraded, so I can only put 6 points worth of planes, and this is 3 and that's 3. So really my choice right now is I'm either saving up for scouting and battle plans, or I'm putting more ships in the queue. And obviously these ships that cost 4, right? They go up here and they're going to take 3 turns before they even become available. So this is one of those deals where, I mean, that's the reason why you've seen me buying the bigger ships, because they take so long to become available. If I build the morale thing, I can get a free rush each turn, which makes the ships produce quicker. I get it. It's just, there's only so many places to spend your points, and I never have enough. This particular turn, I lost 7 points for repairs, and that's really the 7 points that I wish I had right now, right? I wish I could spend 10 points on ships and then still have 7 points for scouting and battle plans. And right now I'm thinking, you know, do I really want to save 7 points for scouting and battle plans? Then that means I can only build 1 ship. That's my dilemma. So I think here's the rest of my logic. This particular round, I only have 1 ship. See how I have these 2 nice navy stacks? But then there's only 1 ship there. When I move to 44, we're gonna now have 4 stacks, right? There's gonna be 2 navy stacks, and then there's gonna be here where I have only 1 ship, and then here where I have nothing, right? If I build a light carrier, this will appear 3 turns from now, right? 1, 2, yeah, 3. 3 turns from now. So he will join the Bunker Hill carrier I just built. So I'll have 2 ships. And then this one, the Yorktown 2, is going to be the single ship in the 4th spot. So anything that I can build that's alongside the Yorktown 2 is going to show up in the 4th spot. So I can build up the 3rd and 4th Navy group is what I'm getting at. So I definitely want to build a light carrier. And because of that logic, I'm going to build 2. So I'm going to spend 8 and I'm going to only have 2 points for battle plans. And I know it stinks, but that's all I can do. All right, and I'm not doing any scouting, so that makes life harder. So let's mark down the things that can't move. That's it. 3, this stack can't move. The Borneo stack can't move, but the planes can. Yeah, that's it. So we have to do our movement, and then they can do theirs. So we got 2 guys on this island. We have 3 here on this island with 1 plane. I'm sort of thinking I need to protect the Solomon Islands. When it comes to New Guinea, though, I have 3 infantry that I'm going to leave on New Guinea, but my Marines are going to go elsewhere, right? Because they can punch people in the mouth. And then these planes can go elsewhere. I know they can come in and invade New Guinea. I get that. Surface Fleet 3 is not full strength, so they won't be holding. But I can send planes, for example, to the Gilbert Islands and to Borneo and help out in both of those situations. So Borneo, for example, can take 4 planes. But here's the deal. They have planes there, but they're all zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, in fact. I don't know if they're going to stay because land-based aircraft can still move based on orders. So what I'm tempted to do is say I'm going to send these 2 Marines to help out my 1st Marine. So I'm basically going to have like an all-Marine, love fest. And so they can leatherneck their way in, and they get to roll 5s and, do whatever damage. But it's also not smart Because what's smart is to have these Marines in different battles, because then I can have that leatherneck everywhere, not just in this battle. I can have leathernecks in every battle. So yeah, that's not smart. So I'm going to take one of my Marines and move him to the Gilbert Islands so we can get leatherneck for both. And remember, leatherneck is only when they're on the island, not when they're on the transport. So, do I really want a Marine over here? Since I already have a Marine, I mean, then I'm leaning towards, okay, well, maybe the Marine needs to stay on New Guinea in case they attack that. Yeah, I'm going to help with the Marine over here. Samoa is going to just be up for grabs. I don't think I can support it. If I move my solo carrier to here, I am going to be up against Carrier Fleet 5 and Surface Fleet 1 aren't much, but Carrier Fleet 2 is still something. And so my single carrier isn't going to help out very much. And this is where the scouting would have helped me, because it's like, okay, where can I send my carrier? And I don't want to lose my carrier just because he's the only ship out there. And then I said I can help out with planes. So what can I do? That's right. I don't want to send planes here because of the zeros, but I could still send planes, like, for example, to the other side. So for example, there's a 1-5, a 1-5, a 1-5, and a 2-4. Those are great. I know this one's a 3-4, but this one has some dogfight value to them. So I can send them to Gilbert Islands, for example. And now, because there's a lot of land-based troops, so I can do land-based hits, right? That makes sense to me. It makes sense to leave 2 planes on New Guinea because I want to defend it. It makes sense to leave 1 plane here because I want to defend it. I just need to build more planes. So then it becomes, where do I put my carrier? And I'm tempted to send him to Borneo because I think I could win it. I really do. Or what I can do with my carrier is send him to, like, Samoa to protect that. Send them to Midway because they could potentially attack Midway. I could send them to the Gilbert Islands to help out with this, but I'm for sure going to embrace Carrier Fleet 2. That one is going to stay. Now, Carrier Fleet 2 just has an escort carrier, but he has a submarine, and that submarine could sink me. And he also has a battleship, which is just going to protect his carrier. I mean, it could help the Gilbert Islands battle to have a carrier there. Oh, screw it. Let's do it. I'm going to send my carrier to Gilbert Islands all by himself and no escorts. I'm going to regret this, I think, but we'll find out. So, Carrier Fleet 2 is going to hold. And so that's going to cause the supply track to go up by 4. Surface Fleet 2 and Carrier Fleet 4 also holding, which causes the resupply track to go up to max. Because that's the rules, right? That was supposed to happen even before scouting. Everybody else is rolling to see where they go and what they do. So, Surface Fleet 3 has just 2 ships. So we're looking at, like, what am I rolling for? There's 2 units here, okay? This one has 2 units, right? Because those will stay behind. This one has 2 units, because one will stay behind. Battleship Fleet 1 has 6 units. This one's staying behind. 3 units here. Okay. So we got several with 2 units, and I said we always go to what's closest to Hawaii first. So I'm going to roll for these 2 battalions, or these 2 infantry first. Second, we're going to go here. Third, we're going to do Surface Fleet 3. Fourth, we're going to do Okinawa. Fifth is going to be Battleship Fleet 1. Sixth is going to be Carrier Fleet 3 and all of Iwo And then seventh will be Japan. So let's go ahead and roll. All right, so first thing we're doing is we're starting with Wake Island. This is just 2 infantry. Figuring out what they're going to do. So I roll a 2 plus an 8 is a 10. They're going to withdraw 1 closer to Japan, but it's only 1 infantry. So only one of them is going to go. And of course he goes to the Marshall Islands. And this moves up by 1. And now I'm rolling for the other one. It's a 2 plus 8 is 10. He's also withdrawing. And I'm just dealing with the tokens off camera here. This goes up by 1. So now I'm on to the Marshall Islands. And I have 2 planes on this one. So a 7 plus 8 is 15. That's reinforce any objective with Japanese forces ashore. So there's 3 objectives now. So we'll do 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9. 10, 8. So these 2 planes are joining the Japanese at Gilbert Island. I'm pretty sure they can. You know, sometimes it tells you you can't, you know, the invader can't go there. Okay, so those guys are done. So next up was Surface Fleet 3. 3 plus 8 is 11. He's going to support. And we're going to do, like we always do, go down the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2. So Surface Fleet 3 is going to the Philippines. And he's done. And now we're doing Okinawa. 2 plus 8 is 10. He's going to withdraw 1 closer to Japan. So this battalion moves back after he just moved down last turn. All right, and then we're going to go, what's left? These 3 planes are next. 8 plus 8 is 16. Reinforce. So we're going to do 3, 6, 9 again. 10 doesn't work. 7. So 3, 6, 7. So these planes, 3 of them, all 3 of them are coming to the Gilbert Islands. So it's almost like the Japanese knew, right? So those are all zeros, by the way, which stinks. But it does make taking Samoa a little bit easier, so we'll see. All right, so now we're on to Carrier Fleet 3 and the forces at Iwo Jima. 6 plus 8 is 14. They're going to where a battle is. And right now we have 2 battles. So even is Borneo, odd is Gilbert Islands. And this is not good, no matter what I roll. So I rolled odd. So Carrier Fleet 3, which is full strength, is moving to the Gilbert Islands where I have my single carrier. We're in trouble. And then with them comes these 2 infantry. They're on transport. And how many planes? 2. 2 planes. So what's the plane limit? 4. 1, 2. They're at their plane limit, so so they're gonna stay. Or no, they go to Japan. I'm holding them to their plane limit. I understand what the rules say. And in fact, one of the zeros has to go to Japan. from the last command, because Gilbert Islands can only hold 4 planes. So they got 4. All right. And then Andrew, you know who you are. I just want you to know that you just texted me and asked me if I'm getting back to my videos, and you don't know this yet, but when you get to this part in this video here, you'll know that yes, I am. And so you're interrupting me, dude. Let me get some battles going here. No, thank you. I'll probably get these uploaded tonight. You'll get to hopefully see them tomorrow. All right. So Gilbert Islands is looking very, very messy. There's 2 almost full-strength carrier fleets there. That's not good, folks. So I'm going to need some help. Serious, serious help. And I realized that I should have rolled for these first. So let me think about this. Carrier Fleet 2, no, the one on the bottom is Carrier Fleet 3. He had 4 units. And then there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 2 planes, right? 7, 8. So there was 8 units in Iwo Jima. I'm going to put this guy back because I should have rolled for these 2. Surface Fleet 1 has only 2, and Carrier Fleet 5 only has 2. So these guys go first. So what would have happened is the Surface Fleet 1 is staying. This transport wouldn't be here. Surface Fleet 1 is just staying to support Carrier Fleet 2. And then now I'm going to roll for Carrier Fleet 5. So 3 plus 8 is 11. It's a support. And then we're going to do the 1, 2, 3. So I rolled a 9. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Carrier Fleet 5 is staying as well. And yeah, we're going to have ourselves a party. Okay. That was just a super bad luck roll. I mean, that could have just as easily gone to Okinawa, but he ended up staying at the Gilbert Islands. Okay, now I'm rolling for Carrier Fleet 3. No, I'm rolling for Battleship Fleet 1. 3 plus 8 is 11, so I'm rolling again for this time, oh my gosh. I rolled a 3, so Battleship Fleet 1 is going to Borneo. You suck. All right, now Carrier Fleet 3. My only consolation is, well, no. So what stinks about that is it's only 2 ships, right? But it's 4 infantry that he's bringing with him. That's the part that stinks. Okay, so we're definitely not taking Borneo this turn. Not that it mattered. It's not an objective. But all of a sudden, Borneo becomes like the hottest item in the world for them when they haven't done anything the whole game there. Okay. So, Carrier Fleet 3. What are you going to do? 7 plus 8 is 15. They're going to reinforce. So we got a 3, 6, 9 situation. And finally, they're going somewhere that doesn't matter. So they're going to Wake Island, and they're going to bring with them 3 planes. And that's it. Next is still Iwo Jima. I rolled a 10. That's an 18. They're doing a sortie. So now they can go 2, 4, 6, 8. Midway would be 8. 6. So 2, 4. Of course, it's Samoa. 6. But here's what's crazy. They can't bring any planes. Those planes just go to the Japan and park. So 1 infantry, which is a battalion, right, is coming to Samoa. Now, what it's going to mean, though, is we're going to lose that objective because my battalion's not going to defeat their battalion, and probably vice versa. But that's the battle. It's just going to be battalion versus battalion. That's it. But we will lose the points for that. And I'm still rolling. I got to do another, but they do drop by 4 on their count. And they would at least be, they would have been at max. So there's a 10 plus 4 is 14. So they're going where there's a battle. So 3, 6, and now 9. And I rolled a 6. So guess where they're going? Carrier Fleet 2. Surface. Oh, that's right, because these guys stayed. So they didn't get to get new transports. All right, so we got a battalion coming. Actually, I think I want to change the rules to, they're going to take the better infantry if they can. So full 2nd infantry is coming to make it a little harder. And now we have Japan still. This is Surface Fleet number 1. What's he going to do? We rolled a 1 plus a 4 is only a 5, which becomes a hold. That is going to make this go up. But Surface Fleet 1 is staying in Japan, and 3 of those planes are going to stay with him. So I'm just going to do that. So next up is a sortie. So 2, 4, 6, 8. That's a 1. They're going to New Guinea. So sorties are 2 planes that can't come because they have nowhere to land. But this 1 infantry is going to come to New Guinea. It's a little bit of a suicide run, but that's the situation. That one I think I can hold, unless there's only 1 battle turn or something crazy. The resupply drops by 4, and now we keep rolling. So we have a 3 plus 4 is 7. That's a refit, which becomes a hold, so it just cranks right back up. Now this time, since there's no carrier fleet, I get to put the hold on the infantry and 3 more planes. So these 2 plus him. And we keep rolling. 2 plus 8 is 10. It's a withdrawal, which becomes a hold. And then 9 plus 8 is 17. They're doing a sortie, which the planes can't do because they can't attack American objectives. So all the planes are done. And just so you know, with this being at 15, it doesn't matter what I roll. All 3 of these are coming off the production line. So I'm going to go ahead and do that step right now. So Japan's got a mega stack of doom of planes. And so when 44 comes around, they're going to have a lot more. Okay, so battle-wise, we got a lot to do. I'm at 1 hour and 18. So we'll end this, and then we'll do the battles. And then I probably have to end after that because it's going to take a while to get the 44 pieces set up. But before I end this, let's just do a real quick cursory look. So for example, the destroyers in 44 don't get any better. That's the one I was really interested in. Like, are we better at taking out subs? The answer is no. Our submarine group gets a lot better. It goes from a 2 to a 4. See that? So this doubles. So we go all the way up to a 4 on that ability. And then our carriers are all Essex class. So that's good. So we're going to have some new carriers that come out. And I'm pretty darn sure that we're going to have a submarine group for the 2 submarines that we lost. So I'm not worried about that. Now, the North Carolina, the battleship, I'm curious about that one. There he is. So we're going to get him back. We'll have to pay to rebuild him. But he comes back. And he's going to be better than ever because his attack is going to be 7. And that's really good. His anti-air goes up quite a bit as well. So from that perspective, it's good. And then there's a whole bunch of escort and light carriers again. But remember, some of these might just be replacing what I already have. And I think the thing that most of us are curious about. And by the way, if you just want to see gameplay, go to the next video. This is just stuff I do because when you play board games, you get general curiosity. So here's what we destroyed. We destroyed some submarines, and then let's get some carriers. There's a battleship, another battleship. Oh boy, we destroyed a lot of stuff. There's a carrier, destroyer, another carrier, cruiser, 3 battleships. Wow. Okay, so this is how I like to sort the pieces. So that's the reason why you see me doing this. So we have, in terms of large targets, we have 3 full-size carriers, 3 battleships, 2 of the lighter carriers, and 2 cruisers, and then 3 destroyers and a sub. So let's see how many of these Japan will replace in 44. So I can tell you they have subgroup 1, subgroup 2. They do not have subgroup 3. Well, hold on. Yeah, this one's gone for good. That submarine, he's going to be gone for good. They have subgroup 1 and 2. That's it. And then destroyer group, they have destroyer group 2, so that one will be replaced. Destroyer group 1 and 5. Yeah, all the destroyers are going to be replaced. So I sort of expected that, I guess. Let's look at the carriers. So we have the Junyo, Zuikaku, and Shokaku. The Zuikaku is coming back. And he doesn't look like he's going to be any better. The Shokaku comes back as well. So no good for us. And Junyo also comes back. So all of them are coming back. And then they have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, they got a lot of carriers coming. Battleships. What do we have? The Kongo Haruna, he comes back. And he doesn't get any better. But he's coming back. The Icy Hyuga comes back. And the Nagato Mutsu comes back. So they're all coming back. So all of these big targets are coming back. So that's going to be 6 units that instead of, going on the card, they're at least going to be in the Japanese reinforcement pool. So we're going to have to sync them again. And I guess thematically this represents their production lines, right? Replacing what we were able to take away. Then from a cruiser perspective, so what is it? Aoba and Tone. There's quite a few of them, so give me a second. Tone comes back, and Aoba. So both of the cruisers are coming back, but it does make their supply lines even that much more backlogged. And then lastly are those light and escort characters. What is it? Shoho and Teo. Teo comes back. Yep, Teo definitely comes back. And Shoho does not. So out of all those carriers, only one of them's not coming back. But that's fine. We at least get one of them down. And I'll take that. And of course, with the Americans, we're going to get even more that we have to produce and all that jazz. But so good news for us is we're going to sink a whole bunch of their 43, or we sank a whole bunch of their 43 ships. And sorry, I'm just putting them away. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna end the video here and then we'll come back. Oh, it's too late. I'm gonna have to do these battles tomorrow. I can't stay up any later. It's a work night. Dang it. All right, I will do this some other time and get these videos uploaded. So thank you so much. And as always, stay awesome, stay healthy and safe.